Hello YouTube, this is iKToasis. It's been a while since I've done one of these just normal gameplay commentaries. As you can see, I am playing Battlefield Hardline. This is the beta. I got it straight away while watching E3 and got it on download. Really enjoyed this because it's a more infantry based battlefield and I'm not good at vehicles. If any of you ever watched me on Battlefield 3, you just saw I avoided vehicles at all costs. I'm just awful when it comes to control of vehicles. But no, I do enjoy this game. When the open beta comes out, we'll do another gameplay commentary on it. But for this, I'm not really going to talk about the game. I'm going to talk about what I've been doing with myself. Obviously, I've been away for a while. And that's, well, mainly just because I've been too busy working. Or trying to get work. I've been applying for jobs left, right and centre. I must have applied for about 30 or 40 different jobs. I've had a few interviews, but nothing really has come to fruition, sadly. But just last week, my band, The Distant North, we went on tour. We went through Sheffield, Nottingham, Mansfield, Leicester, London, and it was probably one of the greatest experiences of my life, just going around playing different shows and playing to different people. I mean, London, we played to around 220 different people, and it was astounding. We played with Beings and Ocean and 100th, and it was insane just to see the way people reacted to us. I wasn't expecting as much good feedback as we did. I mean, we brought out some different shirts for that show. We had 5 limited like dip-dyed shirts, and we only had one left after that show just because everyone bought them. It was insane, but it's just like, it's just great to see like how much effort we put in to try and get it all sorted, the amount of money we put in to try and get this tour all sorted, and to finally do it and get as much good feedback as we did was amazing. Like, was not expecting it. But yeah, we got to play with some guys called the That Night Forest Screw, and oh god, those guys are sound lads, so funny. But we the first 2 nights, all of their band plus their driver and photographer had to stay in my house. So I had the first night, all of those guys, me, and my bassist. And let's just say our bassist is... we call him a hobo because he literally can sleep anywhere, and I'll explain some of the situations we had on tour with him sleeping anywhere. But there was talking about something to do with sex, and oh my god, our bassist Kieran just came out with some of the most ridiculous things. Like, there's always the usual any hole is a goal kind of scenario, but he just fucking out of nowhere comes out with, oh, it's alright, you can wash it afterwards. And now the drummer of That Night Forest Screw just broke with that comment. He just could not stop laughing. But after that, someone was on about how, like, oh, the situation we was in with 10 guys in my room was a bit homoerotic. And then Kieran just comes out of again, hey, it's not gay if you beat them up afterwards. It was just like, what is wrong with you, Kieran? Well, it was just absolutely amazing. After we played the London show, we went to Wales. So we drove, it took us easily about 4.5 hours just because of the London traffic. But we drove to about Cardiff area, and we played a house show, which was literally just some girl's very, very large house. Oh yeah, I'm changing the graphics settings here because my computer's shit. But no, we just played in some big living room, and it was just insane. Like, something like 40-50 people in this room, as well as all our gear, and then everyone just got drunk and hammered afterwards, which was always fun. But before we was playing, we found this like a Nerf throwing thing, which for the rest of the tour all we did was play that, and we was just throwing that around or drinking, and then we played, and that was just, oh, I love that shot. I forgot about that shot. But yeah, it was just crazy playing just house shows, and played a barn show the day after that. But another thing I want to talk about was the drinking we did afterwards. It was quite scary for me at the end of the night because, well, I haven't really explained much about this, but previously in my life, through certain scenarios that would probably get talked about in the future, I pretty much turned alcoholic, quite dangerously so, and I was lucky to have run out of money when I did, because I could have spiraled a lot worse. But going into this house party and drinking, it was having an amazing time, and then all of a sudden, after one drink, it just brought me straight back to just alcoholism, back to those days of paranoia and depression. It did not sit well with me at all. I had to just leave the house party and go sit at the van for a bit, and our bassist Kieran came with me and just sat with me for a bit, just because I was not in a good frame of mind for the way I was. But I just sat there. Eventually Kieran went back off into the house party, which was all good. I had the keys to the van, so I was able to lock myself inside. But I just sat there, just finished off my drink, and then I was like, right, I'll go back in. I'll try and carry on. Try and just have a good night. But then when I just got back in, I must have done like a lap around the house, quickly used the toilet, put my hands in the sink, 'cause I burnt my hand like an idiot pissing around with fire, as you do when you're drunk. But then, as soon as all that happened, I needed to go back to the van. So I just went back to the van and locked myself in and tried to go to sleep. I just pretty much just passed out and felt like death for the next few days. But it was a real big shock to my system, because I was not expecting that to happen. I mean, I'd been away from it for a good 3 years, away from that feeling, and to out of nowhere have it, boom, hit me, was scary to say the least. But luckily, after that night, I was perfectly fine. I moved straight on, and well, yeah, I'm just glad I was able to move straight on quickly, and it didn't ruin the rest of the tour. But like, the next day we were meant to be playing, but the venue cancelled on us because they were pussies and flaked out. So we pretty much had a day off, and we went Nando's, and just, of all things to go off, my phone goes off. Good job, Kyle. But no, we just went to Nando's and we just went and drank in Nando's and had some food in Nando's, which was awesome, because all we'd ate for the past days before that was just like Tesco's meal deals and stuff. But no, we had a good Nando's, a good little recuperation period. Went and watched the other band were able to get themselves on a last minute show, so we went and watched them, and then we drove to the beach and just went to sleep in the van near the beach. And we was the driver and someone else was meant to go sleep in a tent just somewhere, but the guy who was meant to sleep in the tent flaked out because there was some scary house, even though the house that he was scared of was just one lonely house that looked pretty badass. I wouldn't mind living in it. So we had to, our other guitarist went and slept in the tent with him, and we had all the rest of us in the van. But it was just I woke up that morning like expecting to be in the same place, because the van was on the side of the street. I woke up in a fucking Tesco car park with the bassist underneath my seat sleeping, which was quite funny. I got up, looked out the window, was like, what? Just seeing that we was just somewhere new, somewhere different. I was like, yeah, I'm going back to sleep. I just went back to sleep for about 25 minutes until the guys came back. It was surreal. But after that, we just drove down to the beach. It was about 10 in the morning. Drove down to the beach, and we literally just chilled at the beach, got some promo pictures done, played with the Nerf a bit more, did some crazy golf, and our third guitarist, the jammy bastard, at the end of crazy golf, most of them do like, if you get this nigh on impossible shot, you'll get a free go, and he fucking got it. And all of us were just there like, you jammy bastard. Like, was just saying to him, you should see if you can sell it on to someone who was just trying to sell people this ticket, because we weren't going to come back. Then we went to some arcades, which was cool. And they also found out that if you put a 10p into the change machine, it would give you 5 10p's back. So they just wrecked that and got a load of 10p's. We then played, me and the two of the guitarists, when they played bowlingo. Apparently it's just a smaller bowling. And that was crazy because we near enough broke the floor with some of the throws we were doing, how much power we were putting into them. It was just crazy the way we was going back and forth. But then went on top of this fucking mountain and just got some awesome promo shoots from there. Nah, there's some crazy things we got to do. And like the last 2 shows, one was in a barn in the middle of nowhere, where it was just a load of like, they looked like the people I have to deal with at my security job kind of people, which was kind of awkward for me. So I had fun playing, and then I just went back into the van and chilled. And then there was the last show was in this tiny little room that was probably about the same size as my bedroom, but it was awesome. It was this tiny little venue, and we just went for it because it was our last show of tour. We just didn't care. I mean, we had our guitarist Dave was jumping across all the like seats on the side. We have this bit in one of our songs, if you've heard it, called Floodlights, where we all just stop and scream. And I just stood up and started punching the ceiling, and it got a massive crack in the ceiling because of it. But it was crazy having this tour, and with all the good and the bad. I mean, obviously we had our arguments, we had our little fights, and we had our disputes, but we just had so much fun with it, and I cannot wait till we do it again. I wish we could still be in that van now, even though it was horrible sleeping conditions, horrible eating. I really do wish we could be back in that van. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. Coming up to the end of the round now. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. And I think for the next commentary, I'll explain to you my alcoholic scenarios when I feel a bit more comfortable for it. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Sorry I've been away for a while. Please like, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you bros later.